TriceViewer is a software testing company headquartered in Austin, Texas. It provides software testing automation and software quality assurance products like Neoload performance testing tool, TriceViewer task automation tool, etc. TriceViewer is expanding its learning communities and just launched a new community called ShiftSync. So ShiftSync is a space for developers, testers, and DevOps specialists to easily share the knowledge, connect with like-minded people, and enhance quality in the development process with valuable content, user forums, and industry experts' contribution. ShiftSync offers an engaging space for professionals to connect and learn. So join ShiftSync today by using the link provided in the description. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Ravi. Welcome to Playwright Automation tutorial. So this is our lesson 5 where I'm gonna teach you about TraceViewer. How can we capture page actions and how can you capture screenshots and logs by using TraceViewer in Playwright Automation tutorial. Please do subscribe to the channel, click on bell icon. You'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos. Thank you. So by end of this lesson, you will get to know how to record a trace using browser context tracing in Playwright, and also I'm gonna teach you how to open the HTML reports and how to open the trace viewer, right? And then how can view traces of your test by clicking through each action or hovering using timeline and see the state of page before and after the action. So basically I'm going to teach you how can you analyze this trace viewer and how can you see before and after action you performed, how can you see the snapshots, right? And then how can you inspect the logs and how can you inspect the sources and networks during each step of the test. Okay, so all these details I'm going to show you in this session. So now let's jump onto the system and see how can we use the trace viewer and how can we open the trace viewer and then how can we capture the trace viewer while automating your test cases by using Playwright. Okay, so let's go to Eclipse, right? Okay, this is my Eclipse. So to see the trace viewer, let us go to official website of the Playwright. Okay, this is our their official website. I have already walked you through this website in my first YouTube video series. Okay, I would recommend you guys to go through that YouTube video. So let's go to trace viewer. Okay, if you see the trace viewer, this is your trace viewer where you can see how this trace viewer works. Okay, trace viewer is a GUI tool, lets you explore recorded playwright traces of your test, meaning you can go back and forward through each action of your test and visually see what's happening during each action. Okay, how to record a trace, I'm going to explain you how to record a trace, how to open HTML report, how to open the trace viewer. If you scroll down, okay, so let's first of all let's do one thing. Okay, what is the use of this trace viewer? If you see the snapshot here, right, view traces of your test by clicking through each action or hovering using the timeline. If you see, this is your timeline, it's like a film strip. Okay, and see the state of the page before and after the action. Okay, inspect the log, source, and networking during each step of the test. Okay, the trace viewer creates a DOM snapshot so you can fully interact with it, open DevTools, etc. Okay, so now let's go back to our so let's create one, let's record one test. Okay, let me show you live how it trace viewer works. Okay, so to generate the test, as I told you, so test generator is my previous session. Okay, so you can see that session to understand the test generator. Okay, so as I told in that particular video, this is my command to execute to open the test generator to record the test, right? So you can copy this command, okay, and then once you copy this command, you can replace with the URL that you would like to test. Okay, I'm going to consider this URL. Okay, simply copy this this one, and then you need to go to your project folder here, and here you can just cmd. I'm opening the command prompt at project folder level, okay, and paste this command, hit enter. So now it opens your test generator. So from where you can start recording your test case. Okay, so it takes a couple of seconds to open the trace viewer, sorry, the test generator. Okay, so it opened your test generator, it started recording, right? So you can just see here right side. Okay, I'm gonna perform some actions here. It records everything. See, clicked on this, it traced like page by label email click. Now let's enter email ID. So you can see right side, it is actually recording everything, right? And then password, and hit login, and then let's go to apparels and shoes, right? Add to cart, and go here shopping cart, and remove this. Okay, let's remove this shopping cart, and now I want to log out again. Okay, so everything is recorded now. So now let's stop the recording. Okay, here we stop the recording. Let's copy this recording, and let's go back to your Eclipse. Okay, so this is my Eclipse. I want to create one new class. Okay, this is my project that we actually, this project I have already showed you in my previous session. Okay, these are all we created. First session is this, second session is this. Okay, right click, and then let's create a new class file. Okay, name this as trace viewer, trace viewer, and then you need not to include your main static main method here. Okay, and then just hit finish. Okay, so this is mine. So now let's copy, as I told you, I'm going to copy this code and paste it here. Okay, I copied and paste. Sorry, I have to basically overwrite everything, empty this and paste it here. So here my class name is what? My class name is actually trace viewer. That's it. So it's all now, everything is here now. So what is we are getting here? Okay, let's add the package. Okay, so now, so basically this is my code. Let's save this, and I want to make sure this script works properly. Okay, for that let's run this particular script. Okay, run class. It should open. So basically whatever we recorded, so it should open it, and it should run the test case. Okay, so it's going to open your Chrome browser. See, it opened your Chrome browser, and then it is entering your username, password. Perfect. Cart. So removing the cart. Right. Perfect. So that means our script is, we don't have any problem with the script. Okay, let's go back to Trace Viewer again. Okay, the official website of your uh, Playwright. Okay, so this is their official website. Go to Trace Viewer, and in Trace Viewer you can see here, so traces can be recorded using browser context tracing. Okay, let's copy this. If you see, start tracing before creating navigation page. So basically you need to insert this code after browser context but before your page context. Okay, copy this. Let's go back to our here. So this is my browser context and this is my page context. So I'm going to insert the the code here. Okay, save this. If you see, this is context.tracing, start new tracing. This is your interface. Let's go to interface. See, this is your new interface, correct? This is tracing interface where you have multiple classes. Okay, and then it is using the class called start option. If you go to start option, this is your class, okay, which specifies screenshots and everything. See, start options, screenshots. You have a start options set screenshots. So these are all the methods you have. Okay, so let's go back here and we set the screenshot true and we set this snapshot true. Screenshot means it takes the screenshots. Snapshot means, if you see, snapshot means what? Snapshot means before it captures action, not at the time of action is called. Basically a snapshot at the time action is called. After means a snapshot at the moment of the performed input. So this type of snapshot is especially useful when exploring where exactly playwright clicked. After, again it's going to take another snapshot after action, but that means before action it's going to give you one snapshot, after action it's going to give you one snapshot. Okay, so that is the meaning of snapshot. Okay, so done. So now what about, see, we started tracing here, but you need to end the tracing also, right? You need to end the tracing. So let's go back to your official website again. So this is your to stop the tracing here. Copy this and then paste it here. So here if you see, we are getting one error in the path. What you need to do is, in the paths will be, you need to import Java Neo file. Paths you need to import from Java Neo file. That's it, you imported. Now if you see here, it is again coming from tracing stopping options, but here we are setting the path. What path? Whatever the traces that you are doing, right? Screenshot and snapshots that you are going to store in the trace.zip file of your project folder. Okay, so as soon as we run, it should generate one trace.zip folder here. Okay, so now we are done. We started our tracing and we stopped our tracing, right? So now save this and let's run this now and see what happens. Okay, let's run this, and now it runs the test case, but it also captures your traces, the timeline, entire timeline it captures, and it takes all the screenshots to the throughout the timeline, and also it takes you snapshots also. Okay, so it's running very fast. Okay, success and done. Okay, it's closed. So now if you see here, now if I right click on here and refresh the project, you should see trace zip here. I can see trace zip. Now how can you open this trace zip? If you see here, opening the trace zip, there are two ways. One is you can open saved trace using Playwright CLI. So let's click here. This opens a new Playwright dev tool here. Okay, so you need to select the file, or you can drag and drop this zip file. Okay, so let me go to the location of the project. So this is my location of the project. See, this is trace zip, right? I'm going to drag and drop that. Okay, now either you can drag and drop or just you can select the file. So I'll do one thing, I'll just drag and drop the file. Drag and drop your file. Done. See the magic now. Okay, you can see the magic now. Okay, so if you see here, it started at 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and 4th second it started opening your website. See, it opened the website. This is your film strip or timeline, you can call it as timeline. It opened and then I entered email. I'm just on top, actually I'm going through this timeline. Okay, on top. Okay, and then I entered the password, I clicked on login, right? And then I clicked on apparels and shoes. So this is your timeline. It takes snapshot for every second. Okay, so that is the use of that. And then if you see here, this is your metadata. So which shows you actually the run started what time, what is the duration, 11 seconds, what is the browser, Chromium, and what is the platform, Windows. It captures also the viewport, basically width of your screen, height and width. Is it a mobile? No. And then what is the pages count? One page, we interacted with one page. Actions 14, events you performed 86 events. Okay, so that is the details. And if you see here, these are the actions. Okay, I'm going to explain about actions after some time. If you see on the right side, you can see the calls. Basically what are all the calls it made here. Okay, see here, See, these are all the calls that we have actually it made while navigating to, let's say this is my navigation. You can see wait time, duration, what is the URL parameter, right? And what is the return value and logs. And also you can see console. Okay, it captured all the console. You can verify all the console messages also. And if you go to network, you can see all these calls here. Okay, you can see the calls, HTML calls, text CSS calls, or also let's it has some PNG calls, right? And CSS calls, right? You have a lot of calls here. You can see everything. And JavaScript calls, right? So these all network calls you can basically inspect, and you can get all the information. You get all, see, for each call, every call you got the 200 success message, correct? So then also you can see, if you go left side again here, left side, when you hover on this each action, you navigate it, and then you clicked on your label. See, right side, it is showing everything. And then email address. And then you are filling the email address. See here, you filled the email address here. Okay. See, done. It's filled the email address, and then you fill your password. Okay, let's assume I fill the email address. Okay, here I fill the email address. If you see here on right side, this is your locator, right? You can pick the locator also. See, this is your actionable. It is actionable page. This particular snapshot is actionable page actually. You can go to your CSS locator. See, when I click here, it is showing me on top. It is showing me the locator also. When I click here, see, this is my locator of email, and this is my locator of this. So basically it is actionable. And here, if you see, go to action. So this one, before this action, this is what you performed. Let's go to after action. See, you already filled before, and this is your before action, this is after action, right? What is the action that you performed? You entered the email. So before you entering the email, this is the snapshot. After you entering the email, this is the snapshot. Perfect. So like that, for each and every action, so you can see all the actions here, sequence of your actions and corresponding network calls, right? And then also you can hover through timeline also, right? So this is one way of looking at your tracer. Okay, whatever the logs that are captured. And what is another way? So there is another way by using CLI. Our first way we watched by using browser. Now let's see by using CLI. Okay, let's copy this. What you need to do is you need to go to your folder where this trace zip is located. Just there you initiate your command prompt, and here you need to whatever you copied here, right? The command here is just paste the command in the command prompt. Okay, paste the command in the command prompt, enter. So this is going to open your actual Playwright Trace Viewer. It's a window. It's going to open Playwright Trace Viewer window. Okay, it takes some time. Yeah, it opened your Playwright Trace Viewer. The same thing whatever we saw on the web, you can see everything here, right? You have network calls on the bottom, right? Calls, network calls, and then console. In the same way, you have timeline. It's a film strip, right? Everything, it is showing everything. And then you have a metadata too. And then for each action, it captured all the screenshots. And then for each action, what is the snapshot of snapshot before action, what is snapshot after action, right? All these things, it is already there. So you understand how to basically capture your trace viewer. How can you utilize the trace viewer while automating your test cases, and then to generate different types of reports, and to basically trace your HTML report, your network calls, and your timeline, film strip, and everything, right? Snapshot also. Okay, hope you all understand the concept of trace viewer, how beautiful it is. I never see this kind of feature in any other open source tools. Okay, I never see this kind of trace viewer feature in any other automation tools. Hope you all understand the concept. If you have any queries, leave your queries in the comment box. I'll try to respond to your queries. Thank you. Please do subscribe to the channel. Click on bell icon. You'll receive notifications whenever I publish more videos.